Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Death Stranding. Took me a second out of Series JG. Doing a little... I don't know how many videos I'll get in this session, but I figured I would get a little bit of the old Death Stranding played here. One thing I remember from last time that I could do is probably just read a few emails and stuff. Keep us caught up on the story. So let's do that. And then we'll get moving on our quest to get a bunch of, I forget what they were called, skimmers, reefers, some kind of ers, who don't want to join Bridges, but are going to end up joining Bridges anyway. And the only one we've met so far was actually really excited about joining Bridges, so I don't know where this is going. But before we get back to that, we'll read a bit of mail and check out a couple of interviews. So we've got an email from the engineer. I know I can't be easy out there on your own, Sam, but we need you to stay strong. I've started on a few experiments with the Evo-Devo unit you brought me. So far, things are going pretty well. I'm not quite at the stage where I can perfectly recreate objects, but I suspect that only because the chiral network's coverage is still limited. The more places you bring online, the better my results, most likely. Anyway, I'll be submitting regular reports on my progress to Bridges. Rest assured, I'll keep at it. Incidentally, I've taken an interest in the Odorok lately. These days, people tend to associate them with BBs, or think of them as BT detectors. But they were originally designed as a more all-purpose scanners for the detection of people and various objects. Seems they've undergone quite a few changes over the years. Thoughtful smiley. By all accounts, many of the original features were cut at some point. One such feature would allow users to project holograms, which could be pretty useful. Another would utilize chiral connections to reconstruct their past data for present-day applications. I don't believe these features are lost forever, though. To keep expanding the network, someone's bound to take the initiative and create new and improved versions of them. Anyway, I've taken up enough of your time, Sam. We should catch up in person one day. Well, let me go check on BB, because BB's making a bunch of noise. I'm really sick of him getting up off of this thing and then back on it, no matter what you do. Go on to check email, so I get up and then sit back down and get up and sit back down. I just want to check on BB because he was making noise. Fist bump. Is this going to be another thing where we freak out? It starts... Yeah, not this again. Yeah, we already saw this game. How many times are we going to see this? I figured that was that one-time Easter egg, or we just... Okay, if you're going to punish me for trying to... Oh, we got likes. If you're gonna... Whatever it said, I didn't get a chance to read it before it disappeared. Okay, back to the emails. He was making little noises. I thought we were supposed to check on him, and it kind of was like... Stop checking on him. Don't keep others waiting. Hey, Sam, can't tell you how good it was to see you coming over the water on that boat. First time we've welcomed so much as a turd in, what, must be 2 years now. No, I understand what you're saying there, William Blake. I can't crap either in this game. I think it's been like 2 years since any of us have produced a turd. Some folks were even saying everything east of Ground Zero must have been wiped out completely. The occasional message drifted in from headquarters, but people, not a one. We'd half given up on the... We figured those messages were coming from plants. We'd half given up on the Cupid ever being finished on the second expedition, the whole shebang. And then you show up with working Cupid to boot, our knight in shining armor. Oh, please don't go check on your baby, or it will headbutt its way through the glass to kill you. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like I'm not grateful. I am. Well, he did sound grateful. Well, maybe he sounded sarcastic, I suppose. More than you know. Every single person here was waiting for someone like you to come along, and there will be more waiting west of here, a lot more. You'd best go find them. More messages from him. All about preppers. Yeah, it's not scabbers or skimmers or whatever. It's preppers. We made rounds of the local preppers when I first arrived at the Bridges. There should be some interviews floating around at the records team's transcribed. Take a look if you get a chance. We were mainly sounding out the situation on the ground, trying to convince them to join the UCA, of course. But we already suspected they weren't the type to follow the herd. Why else would they be out here? Still, we found the odd community-minded soul amongst them. Not all were holed up in shelters by choice. Some are running from something, others are just... A man could spend his whole life running before he realizes he's running from himself. Others have just been born into life. Guys like us, baby, we were born to run. Down on the streets, and I don't know the words of their song. Sorry. Getting the few we did throw their lot in with the Uka was a pain in the ass, though. It didn't help that the travel network wasn't up and running back then either. All we could do was put the parts in place and promise that they were going to work someday. Now they finally do, thanks to you. Could be the skeptics might finally come around now that we can show them as well as talk. You keep up the good work, you hear? Get us all back on the grid. And then Jake Wynn, that asshole. Dear Sam, how's it going? Still heading west? We're rooting for you. We were part of the second group, so we never got to speak with Amelia face to face. Got the occasional holo message, but that was about it. Still, every little bit helped to keep us going. She's just like her mother. Tough, clever, easy on the eye. Won't lie and say I didn't notice, but what really resonated with us is that fire she carries, that conviction, same as Bridges. Any of us would have laid down our lives in service of her vision. You're right. I suppose this is a long-winded, I get it because I'm Jake Wind, way of saying you ought to move on and meet her like we never got to. And when you do tell her we're still believers in the cause and like her and her mother, you'll do that, won't you? Port Knot City giving it everything. Sam was thinking out to report back to you on how we're doing over here. First things first, obey your thirst. First things first, I'm the realist. The chiral network blew my mind. It's so much better than what I was expecting. The latest news from Capital Knot, way station dispatches and distro center updates in real time without any lag whatsoever. What's more, we can now rely... Please tell that baby to shut up. But don't tap on its glass or it will kill you. That alone's a real game changer. We can send and receive all kinds of supplies too, even without the help of porters like you. As long as we've got the raw materials, the chiral printer can provide us with almost anything we need. You should see the skyline here. Cranes all over the place. The city's turning the corner, if you ask me, to be honest. It almost brings a tear to my eye to see how far we've come. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. The important thing is it's all going much better than expected. Catch you later, Sam. Okay, so we probably have some new interviews, including Heartman on the Evo-Devo unit. It seems a rather significant breakthrough has been achieved back at headquarters. They successfully integrated an Evo-Devo unit into chiral printer. Screw up! In case you're not familiar with the term, Evo-Devo refers to a shared development body. Your genes, mouse genes, dinosaur genes, the genes of every living being are virtually identical, and yet we develop into such radically different organisms. Thus a question arises. Why does such disparate life arise from the self-same building blocks? Evo-Devo is the field of study that sought to solve that mystery, to lay bare the secrets of evolution. Yeah, Evo-Devo, okay. Oh, Heartman, he's not the chubby guy, he's the... Alright. Before the advent of Evo-Devo, it was thought that in order to reconstruct a dinosaur, we would require a sample of its DNA. However, thanks to this technology's ability to extrapolate from existing data, we could, and with the correct stimulus, grow a dinosaur from the DNA of any living organism. Yeah, right. This makes sense, whatever. We could, in essence, recreate the process by which dinosaurs evolved from perennial life forms. Bullshit. An Evo-Devo unit implies the same principles as the problem of information and object reconstruction. Screw up. With the help of a chiral network, we may take incomplete data and incomplete objects and reproduce their complete forms. This data can be fed into a chiral printer, and voila, partial data yields finished product. The tech isn't viable for everyday use just yet, but when it is, it will be of incalculable benefit to our research and bring our reconstruction efforts forward by a matter of decades. In other words, it's a fucking magic thing that can do whatever we need it to do. Here, Mama, the Cryptobiotes. In a way, the chiral network makes use of the beach to allow us to travel through time. See, sending large amounts of data takes large amounts of time, as you'd expect. But the thing about beaches is, well, time doesn't pass the same way in them as it does out here. It might not even pass at all. Screw up! Think about it, the light forms and the stars and the skies we see produced thousands and thousands of years ago, running data through the beaches, like jumping to a point and earlier in the journey, thereby causing it shorter. Much shorter. Just imagine, massive amounts of data transferred almost instantaneously. That's what we're trying to achieve with the chiral network in a nutshell. In theory, the network allows us to reconstruct old data that would otherwise be lost, and to do so with fragmented resources. Using what's known as Evo-Devo analysis, we could take the finger bone of a dinosaur, say, and extrapolate from that Not only the dinosaur's form, but its composition, internal, external, even its thought process to its degree. Anything's possible with gyro computing. In other words, won't just be able to reunite a nation. We'll be able to pronounce the evils of truth and love, and extend our reach to the stars above. We'll be able to reclaim everything we lost in the Death Stranding. More, even. Theoretically, we could go back as far as the birth of the planet and beyond, and thanks to the beach, we'll be able to compile all the data in one place, and reduce the processing time for even the most complex and analyses to effectively zero. Then we got a message from we got two messages from Fragile, one of which we apparently already read, although I don't remember it. So let's read them both. Fragile has this kind of weird Euro accent, and it doesn't sound like this at all, but I'll just make her Olga Glukovic. When I was a little girl, my father told me that preppers were people who decided long ago that they couldn't trust their nation to be there for them anymore, that the bonds between us had grown weak long before the Death Stranding. Bobo, I too worked hard for the Patriots. We once had a network spanning the whole wide world, Squirrel, that could send items from anywhere to anywhere, and connect anyone with anything. But still we were isolated, still we were alone. Some liked it that way, and even wanted more. They wanted walls along their borders, wanted to turn away refugees and outsiders. They wanted to make the beach great again. Some even wanted new nations all their own. They began to see the state as an enemy of their freedom, not a protector of it. The ones most far gone, they didn't trust the country to defend them if something went really wrong. War, terrorism, natural disaster, you name it. So they built shelters and stocked full of supplies in preparation for the worst. I'm trying not to make this about Trump, but this really is about, like, the crazy militia movements. Like, she's literally talking about them. And then the worst happened. The Death Stranding. America ceased to exist, and their shelters became their homes, where they would leave and they would die. But while they prepared, they hadn't prepared to live there forever, which is why they wound up relying on us couriers so heavily. My father and I didn't want to go back to the old America. We didn't want a country that pushed people apart. We wanted one that brought them together, that allowed them to support one another. That was what we tried to work towards. And then cryptobiotes. We call these bugs cryptobiotes. They were recorded in reference books and databases back before the Death Stranding, but nobody ever thought to give them a proper classification, so cryptobiotes they stayed. Oh yeah, that's always happening. Scientists are always discovering life forms and then not giving them classification. That's what scientists do. They're named for the process of cryptobiosis, which means hidden life. When environmental conditions get too harsh, if resources too scarce, cryptobiotes can shut down their metabolic processes and enter an almost death-like state in order to survive. Tardigrades and sleeping chiromids are capable of this too, but cryptobiotes are a whole other level. They're totally badass. They can survive anything and anywhere, even on the beach or in the sea, and they aren't capable of prolonging only their own lives. Humans who eat them acquire a limited resistance to timefall too. You won't find them lying around us anywhere, though. You need to know where to look. Not many people even know they existed until recently, so next to no research has been done. But now that their beneficial properties have been recognized, I'm willing to bet they'll play an important role in helping us understand the beach, the Death Stranding, and everything else. Sure. The Lake at Ground Zero. This is from Victor. When I first laid eyes on the lake here at Ground Zero, I was blown away by the sheer size of it. I never imagined anything could be so huge. And the future of the lake is written with a pitchfork on water. This was just after the Death Stranding, and not many people had seen the craters up so close yet. Back when I was still living with my parents and my brother on the East Coast, an explosion like nothing the world has seen tore a gaping hole in the heart of America. There were all kinds of rumors floating around at the time that it was a meteor, that it was a nuke dropped by another country. I was just a kid, but even I could tell the adults didn't have a clue, so you can imagine how I felt. And then we found out there had been other explosions, not just here in America, but the world over. By the time we learned they were voidouts, and what voidouts were, the country was pretty much done. Tovarich Commander. But hey, that was then, and this is now. And things are looking up. I just got told my kid brother is still alive. What? I thought we know he's not. Word is, he's heading up the corpse disposal team in Capital Knot City. Oh, this is new. It was unlocked, but it's not current. We must have unlocked it by getting like 3 or 4 stars someplace. Handling his shit well enough to get picked for the second expedition. 3 more years and he'll be out there with me. Can't wait to see him again. Yeah, that ain't happening. Prepper interviews the engineer. My horizons ain't exactly broad. That said, I'm not completely cut off from the outside world. I knew what Bridges was and what they were trying to and that they were trying to rebuild America. But when you're living down here, it's hard to see how that's got anything to do with you and yourself. Am I right? My folks holed up in the shelter after Death Stranding. Had a kid and raised him in their slice of paradise, and together we lived off whatever Fragile Express was kind enough to bring our way. They told me tales about the good old days, but I never had much of an imagination. Couldn't see how a country long gone was of any concern of me and mine. Far as I figured, if Fragile Express was happy to keep bringing us stuff, we didn't need anybody else, and we certainly didn't need America, whatever that even was. But then one day I was looking at the part of the machine my dad put together. He was an engineer too. And I noticed something. Said made in the USA right there in tiny print. Got me to thinking that America might not exist anymore, but the stuff Americans built is still around, making our lives a little bit easier even now. You could say my old country lives on and it works. Kind of like how my folks live on in me. They died a while back. Anyway, if they were American, I guess that makes me American too. And maybe this shelter a part of it all. Once I realized that, I started pouring my heart into building stuff to help you guys put our country back together. And, of course, what we should really all care about, Dooms in the Zodiac. Alright. Got some likes from William Blake for reading his stupid emails. Well, you know what, William Blake? Maybe I've been too hard on you. I need you as an ally in my ongoing battle against Jake Wind. Seriously, Kojima's got some really heady ideas, but then he has characters with names like Jake Wind and William Lake. One of whom is at the wind farm, the other whom is by a lake.
Sorry about the mess. I got caught in the rain. Oops. Didn't mean to give you a shower.
Did you just hire him because he's weird looking, Kojima?
Tried waiting it out, but when I checked the time.
I mean, he's not weird looking. That's not kind, but he has a distinct look.
Sorry. Should have come sooner.
Oh, come on, guys. I just started a new video with a fully charged controller. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I got.
Just give me a minute.
I need to get this rain out of my eyes before they die of old age. That sure was... I guess... Oh, man, I forgot to put on hat and sunglasses, so... Alright, so let's take on a new order. Let's get this one. It's a little further away. But we should be able to get to this without dealing with the mules at all. I'm sure there'll be some other threat instead. Oh, wait. Less than 50% damage. Okay, I believe we can do that. We can get smoke grenades, but again, from what we can see of the map, we shouldn't need anything if I just avoid the mules. Deliver the gun parts and anti-BT weapons. Well... seems like there's a decent chance that if we gotta go to... Yeah, now I'm thinking we're probably about to go someplace with a whole bunch of BTs, aren't we? If they want BT weapons out there, that probably means there's freaking BTs. But maybe we can develop a freaking anti-BT gun. That would be nice. What is this? Trying to figure out if I was getting some kind of
Weapons restrictions lifted.
no longer on the power grid. Well, I was on the power grid, and now I'm not. Curious what that is, but I don't think it matters at this exact moment in time. Got some Cryptobiotes. Don't see a reason not to grab them. I thought I could grab... Okay, I grabbed like a tiny amount of them, I guess. Is that somebody's, just a watchtower generator? Okay. I don't think we really need to go visit that generator just yet. Although, I don't know for sure what happens if these power legs run out of power. Like, am I forced to discard them? Or can I just carry them on my back? Because if I have to discard them, that would be kind of bad.
There we go.
Pretty uneventful journey over here so far. Don't really know what to make of that area on the other... Like, is that all going to turn out to be Tari BT zone, or... Not sure. Okay, well this is where it might make sense to save, because I feel like we put our rain hood on because we're about to start encountering BTs. There's a generator. Let's set that as a... set that as a marker. Or are we already heading there? Whatever, I'm not sure.
There we go. This one's for you.
This one's for you. Guy who this one is for. Fuck. Made a little bit of a mess of that. So I seldom seem to bother with ladders and stuff, do I? Online watchtower. Auto paver. I got nothing to give to an auto paver right now. There's other auto pavers I need to deal with first. So am I heading back in the right direction now? Yeah, this is more like the direction I need to be going in. Looks like somebody is more serious about using ladders than I am. I will throw them a like. And then I will get on the frickin' ladder. Can I, what the? Okay, I'm not sure why he doesn't want to get on the fucking ladder, but he didn't want to get on the fucking ladder. Chill out, buddy. I'm sorry I submerged you. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? Cut me a break. Meanwhile, all my shit's getting damaged from water. But in the distance, we can see... I think we can actually see the base.
There we go.
At least I thought I could see the base in the distance. Well, we still got a little ways to go. But I'm confident we'll be able to make it the rest of the way next time. Especially because it appears I'm going to have to get a new freshly charged controller for every single video. I'm Serious JG. Thanks for watching. When we come back next time, we will finish traveling to this base. I hope. See you then.